Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm continuing on with my Excel lessons for beginners. This is level 4. This is the fourth lesson that I've put together. I'll put a link down below in the description to the playlist that contains the other lessons too. Today we're going to be looking at 3 different topics in this lesson. And the first one's going to be conditional formatting. And then we're going to move on to data validation or drop-down menus. And lastly, I want to show you how to add a slicer or slicers to your information to be able to filter it quickly in a very attractive way. So those are the 3 topics we're covering it today. Everything will be timestamped below, so if you want to skip to a certain section of the video, it'll be there. Let's get started today on Teachers Tech with this lesson 4 for Excel beginners. I'll link the sheet that I'm using here today just down below in the description too. So if you wanted some data to play along with the same stuff that I have, it will be there that you can do it. So first of all, what is conditional formatting? Our first topic today. And just really easily, what it does is it allows you to spot trends or important numbers visually. So I already have this set up with some conditional formatting, and you can see if I look around, there's some down red arrows, there's some up ones. Usually it's picking, depending on what we told it to pick, it will show kind of the trends in the upward or downward direction, or really you get to choose what the criteria will be. Now I'm going to go ahead and then just delete the conditional formatting that I have on this sheet, and we're going to start from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually clear the conditional formatting, the rules that I have applied to this information here. Now to do that, make sure you're up to home, and there's conditional formatting here. So if I click on this and then go to clear rules, I could select the information in the table and then clear the selected cells, but I'm just going to clear everything on this sheet. So when I click on it, all the different rules are gone out of this now. So let's start applying some conditional formatting to a different sheet I have, and I just have assessment. I just have the quarterback names in here, and they're doing some quizzes and some tests and some midterms here. So I'm going to take a look at this first column. And what I want to do, so the first thing, you're going to need to highlight the area that you need to apply the conditional formatting to. So I could highlight it like this. Another way you could do, if your lists are getting longer, what you can do, if you hold Control, Shift, and then hit the down arrow on your keyboard, it will go right to the bottom one like that. So remember that shortcut. So now what I'm going to do is just go to conditional formatting, and we're just going to work through the different types that you can apply. And I'm going to look at the highlight the cell rules, and I'm going to go greater than. And now if I click on this greater than, and it just defaulted to 77, but I can change this. So if I said, oh, I want anything greater than 95, well, maybe I don't want red either, and I can drop down and I could select green, or I could do different things. I can make it could be a text color, a red border, but to get more, you just have to go to custom format and then go through, and if there's a certain number that you want, a font, a border, a fill, you just go select it, the ones you want, and then you'll have your custom one that you can apply to it. Now I'm just going to hit OK. And I have 3 different colors added to it. So let's say though, someone else entered the class, I'll just put my name here, and I go ahead and get a 97, whoops, not 67, 97, and this should turn green if that cell was formatted. I didn't format that cell. So the one thing you can do is, I'm just going to delete that. What you can do is if you highlight or just click on the entire column like this, you can apply the conditional formatting to it. So I'm going to go back to greater than, and I'm going to go to 95 again, and I'm going to go back to my green and hit OK. So let's say now anybody that I add after that, you can see it turned green. But you probably don't want this to change the color. Change the color on this. You can go to this one, go back to your conditional formatting, and then clear rules, and it's just going to be that cell that I have that I'm going to clear the rules too. So now it's back to normal, and anybody I add, that format will add to it. So I'm just going to Control Z to get rid of the last couple things that I did here with my name on it. The other thing too, so we could be looking at a number of different ways. Now, if I highlight this row, or maybe multiple ones, I could go to conditional formatting, I could highlight, I could go back to my greater than rules and then look at it. I could change the number, maybe a lower one, maybe a higher one. I'll go to 98. There's one there, and it's applying it to all the different ones that I've highlighted there. I'm just going to go cancel, and I wanted you to take a look at, and I'm just going to go to one here. And under all these, and this goes the same with no matter which one I pick, there is the more rules button at the bottom. And when you click on more rules, you can see that you can go format cell, specific text, and you can go through and make some changes to that right there too. So if you wanted it between, but these are all going to be through here too. So you can see all the different ways that you can just quickly get the information. So if I wanted less than, maybe I wanted a certain number to pop out if it was less than something. So if I was going to say, we'll go 65. Well, no one got 65. We'll say 70. And then I noticed two are kind of highlighted, so it can give that identification that, oh, let's take a look closer what could be happening there. And if I have more information, and then I can see those trends using conditional formatting. So I'll just hit OK on there. Okay, so looking at a few different options, we have our greater than, less than. I'm not going to between, self-explanatory, equal to, text that contains. So what this can do, if I'm looking, so if I'm just going to highlight this. If I go back, highlight text that contains. So if I click on it and I start typing Tom, and you can see it found Tom Brady here, and you can look up different. So you will be able to look up names and highlight names, add that conditional formatting just with text too. I'm just going to hit cancel on that one. The other thing that you can do, and I'm going to write Tom Brady again here. And if I highlight this, go to conditional formatting, look at so duplicate value. So if all of a sudden you've typed in something 2 times and you didn't know, if you just wanted that quick visualization, you could click on it and you'll be like, oh, I typed in his name in twice. And you can see if you have that formatting there, it will let you know right away if you've already typed it in too. So just a little tip there that how you could be using it. And lastly, I just wanted to point out there is dates too. So I don't have a date in this one, but you could be looking at when the dates happened to be coloring or highlighting different ways to it. All right, so let's move to another sheet here. I'm just going to move over to QBR here, and let's say we're going to use, I'm going to use my shortcut here and highlight that, take a look. And we also have top bottom rules, and this could be the top 10. So if I go ahead, click on the top 10, maybe I want green, or I could go to custom format. There's my top 10. I could adjust this. You can see as I bring this down, it's picking the top 6 now QBR ratings, like so. The other thing, I'm just going to hit cancel, go back, top 10 rules. I could go top 10% on it too. And again, adjust the rules accordingly to what you want from it. Above average, below average. And again, go to more rules to adjust things and get things just the way you want those colors to indicate to you. Now, I like it, as we're moving down here, we have data bars. I like when we add these to it, if I just click the solid fill, maybe I can make my cells, I'll make this a little wider so you can kind of see it a little bit more through here. It fills up the higher it is. So I like it when we can add these visuals like this. So if you've ever wondered how to add those, that's how quick you can do it with conditional formatting. Again, you can go to your more rules and make your adjustments, pick the colors, the type of fill that you want in here to really customize everything that you want. I'm just going to go down to color scales now. What the color scales do, so I'm going to go back one step and just take these off here, and I'm going to go to color scale. So color scale will kind of break it in, it's a breaking it into different parts. Kind of the green would be the highest, the greenest green would be the highest, and then depending on what you want. Again, you can customize all these, so it's going to break it into, you can see 5 different colors and kind of separate it through here. As I go through, I'm just going to give you a quick show, and again, more rules are there. The last part of this, I just want to point out the icon sets here. If I'm going to go back to this is the sheet I started with, the sales data, and I'm going to highlight everything. So it's different if I highlight one at a time. So you can see if I go to this, all it's doing is looking at this row across this way here. Now, if I wanted, I'm going to highlight everything here and go back and do my icon sets here. You can see how differently things are. So you can see how the arrows change because it's basing it not just on that row across anymore. It's basing it on all the numbers that I picked. So if I highlight everything, it's looking at all of this and comparing the numbers in these ones. So just so you know. And the other thing is, if you apply, let's say, and I'm going to go back to this again, if you drag down, I'll show you, if you drag down, notice everything changed now to the exact same thing. The reason is because if I go back, I'm going to go to manage rules here. And what I wanted to point out here was when it applies by default, everything will be absolute there. So if you look at the different you see the dollar signs in there, and I talked about this in lesson 2. As I copy it down, it's not going to move. So that's why if you go to copy something down from a conditional format, it defaulted to that on it. So just do be aware, if you're trying to copy it down, it will change on it. All right, so that's kind of a walk around conditional formatting. You can see from declaring the rules, we can go to manage rules if we want. You could add formulas in if you're working with it, but it gives that really quick way to visualize your work in the trends. Like, you can be using it in so many different ways. If you're showing a spreadsheet to somebody else, they can just quickly pick up on those important numbers. So I hope you like this first tip with conditional formatting. Let's move on to our next one now. I want to show you how to create a drop-down list in Microsoft Excel using data validation. Now, this might sound complicated, but even if you're a beginner to Microsoft Excel, this is still something you could add very quickly and easily to your spreadsheets to add a lot of functionality. Now, what it allows you to do is quickly go down a list like this and pick, and you're not going to have to type things in, and quickly just kind of pre-program what you wanted to say in those boxes. And I'll even show you how to make some adjustments to it if the list changes. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways today. So I have some pretty simple lists that I'm going to be showing in this example today, just so you get an idea how to create these, but you can apply this to any type of sheets. Now, in this first example, what I want to have happen is, so I have a list of sports, and when I use my drop down, all I want to be able to select is it played indoor, outdoor, or both on it. So this might not be the most accurate one when I select what the answer is, but you'll see the point how I make it. Now, the first thing I need to do is select the area where the drop downs are going to be. So right here in this area, I'm going to go and highlight these here. And then all I need to do is go up to data. Make sure you have that selected. You can see where it is up top, and find data validation, and it's right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And now I have this little window, the data validation window, pop up. And you can see right now the cells are set to any value. What that means is you can type any number, words, letters, gibberish, it doesn't matter. You can put anything you want. But we want to be able to force it to only select from the drop-down list on it. So what I want to do is, if I drop down and then pick list right here. And you can see there's other options, but in this video, I'm just focusing on the list and the drop down, but let me know if you're looking at some of these other ones too, if you want a tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and pick list. And now I can give my options what I want. So I said, is it going to be played indoor? And then I put a comma on it. And then I put outdoor. So depending on what your list is going to be. And then I'm going to just type both. So that's my small list on it, just to give this example. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK now. So what happened was this little arrow popped up here. So if I drop down, you can see indoor, outdoor, or both. So if I go ahead and pick football, both. We'll go to golf, and if I'm just thinking about gameplay, we'll just go to outdoor. Again, I can pick different examples depending on this, but you can go through and pick these and just kind of quickly go through, and you're not going to make any spelling errors because you've already told it what it wants to be. Now this is a simple way to create a drop down list, and the next way, it's the way I prefer, so keep on watching on that one, and I'll show you how to kind of make a list on the side that you can type in and increase it based on a certain range on your spreadsheet. So I'm on sheet 2 now, and in this case, I want to create a drop-down list. When I come over here, I drop down, and I want to be able to pull from the information that I typed over here, but I also want to be able to show you how, if that list changes or grows, how you can quickly add it. So the first thing I want to do in this case, and a lot of people kind of don't do it this way, but I think it's better. I'm going to create a table over here. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this and just go up to Insert Table and click on that. And I do have a heading on there, so I'm going to say my table has the heading. I'm just going to hit OK, just like that. So I've created a table from there, and I'll explain why I'm doing it. I'll show you a different way that you can do it, but I just find it adds a little bit of work if you're changing around the table. Now, this is very similar to what we did before. I need to select the area that I want the data validation in. So I need to go highlight this area and then go up to the data up top, find my data validation. And now this time I still need to change it to list like I did before, but I need to change the source on it. So when I go ahead and click this little arrow here, I can highlight the source. So I wanted it to be limited, full, exempt, and then I can go ahead and pick this, and now I can go ahead and hit OK. So if I was going to go to practice status, and you can see limited, full, exempt, it's pulling from the list beside it. So I can go through from this. Now, let's say if something changes, if I want to add something to this list, if I go in, and I'll just give an example here, and maybe the person's out. So I'm just going to go and type out. And right away, if I go over here, notice it's out on it. Now, if I didn't create that table at first, that wouldn't automatically happen. There'd be a different way. So if I just go back a bit here, and I'm just going to go back and take off the table. So the table's off. You can see that it doesn't have the drop down. It's just back to normal information on the sheet. Now I could go back here, and I'm going to go this time. I'll just go back to my data validation again, and I'm going to pick this right through here, hit enter, and hit OK. So now, if same thing, it seems to be working. But now if I type this like this time, and I go through, notice out isn't there. What I'd have to do is, the way I would want to put out in there, I'd actually have to put it in between what's there. So I could add, if I added I'm just going to insert a row here, and I'm just going to cut this and paste this over here. So now if I go back over here, you can see out is there, and in the way I had it set up here, I put a spot in here, so I'd have to move everything out. So I just find that just adds a little bit of extra work. If you create that table at first, it was just easy to add and keep going on there. Now maybe if you were sharing this sheet out, you wouldn't want people to see this part here. You can go ahead and hide this spot, so you can right click up here, you can see the hide option, and maybe so then they would just see this here as they go through. But as I said, I would recommend just create that table first in the first part that I showed you. You can also create it in different places. So if I wanted to have the information in a new sheet, so if I just go back here and put this back here, I could create this information. I could take it, and so it wasn't even on this sheet, so I could just go down below, maybe I just paste it here. But the one thing you'd have to do, if this is where your information is coming from, you would have to update. If I go back in my validation, you would have to make sure that you go back here and update your source. So if anytime you move this, if this is going to be my source now I'd have to update it here. And you can see it's on a different sheet, especially if you've moved it. If you started from the first place, it doesn't matter, but you can put it in different places to maybe hide the list that if you were sharing it to and if you didn't want people to see. So the third lesson today is about slicers. Now, before I show you how to put a slicer into your Excel worksheet, I just want to show you what it does. Now, these right here are slicers, and it's going to help me filter the information from the table that I have over here. So for instance, I have by different conference, the different quarterbacks. I want to see the AFC quarterbacks. I click on this like so, and it brings me those AFC quarterbacks. I can even break it down more. I could hit South, and then I have the 3 remaining, and it shows me the teams here that are remaining. I can't click on the ones that it's not including, and maybe I want to check out the Colts, and then I get to that part. So that's what I'm going to show you how to add to a table here as our third lesson. So I have the information here that I've showed you that where I've added the slicers to, and I've just deleted it back to normal. And it's not a table or anything yet. And actually that's the first step that you need to create out of this. This needs to become a table. And if you don't know how to make it a table, all you really need to do, I could select the area that will include, but even if I click in here somewhere, so if I click in a cell and under insert up top here, if I go to table, it kind of knows where the table is looking. I could highlight it if I wanted to, but I can see it selected the right area. My table has headers. Yes, they do. Hit OK. And now this is a table. I could go through if you wanted to. You could go through and design it differently. You can see as I click on different ones just to adjust it, but I'll let you do that, play with that yourself. Now, I'm going to add the slicer to this. So again, if I just click inside here, and I'm going to go to insert, and where slicer is I'm going to go over here, right here, so filters, and then I'm going to click on slicer. Now it's going to ask, what do I want to be kind of the filters that on it? And so I chose before where I had conference, division, and team on it. I could add more if you want, but for me, if I was searching through, this would probably give me what I want, those 3 criteria for filtering. And I'm just going to go ahead, hit OK. And right away you notice, so I have 3 different slicers. I can go through and make, if I click on it, you can see if I click on each one, I can adjust the colors, and I can do different things through here to stylize these slicers the way I want. I'll just make sure I'm going to go, actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it the same color here on each of these, and you can see how I click on these to, oops, I got to make sure I click on the right one. I can move them around. Maybe I'll put the conference first, just like I showed you in the example. I can stretch these out if I want to. You can see how it adjusts like this. I'm just going to put them just like this, and I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, move them up, and just place them all kind of in a row like this to get them straight. That will be straight enough. And to here. So now all I have to do, if I click on it, and I gave you the example before, if I click on AFC, there's my AFC. These are providing the filters. So again, South, and I can look through, and it's only going to highlight the ones that it's a possible search. And they know, as I mentioned, these are the ones that they know they can search. So what do you do when you want to search again? Well, you can just clear this. So if I clear, these are clearing it, so it goes back to normal. You can select multiple ones too. So if I could hold down Shift and select multiple ones too. But you can see as I select and I turn off, I click on it again, it goes back and forth. So you can click multiple ones. So maybe I wanted to, I'm going to put them all back on here again. You'll see if I go back, maybe I wanted to get a couple of teams in here. If I hit multiple teams now I have 3 different teams. So I can compare the teams that I want this way too, to maybe see what the quarterbacks did with passing yards or TD passes. Again, makes a simple, nice way to filter your information. Remember, you need to make this table first, and you can go through and stylize it the way that you want. And then if you hand that off to somebody, if they were just clicking on it, it makes them easy. It makes it easy to kind of get what they're, to ask the questions that they want out of the information to give you that feedback. So I hope these 3 lessons today have helped you out with your Excel. Let me know what other things you're looking to learn. Just write them down below in the comments down below. I always read those to make sure that I can make more videos to help people with certain topics, and I'll keep on continuing on with these different lessons and levels, and I'll put together a 5th one very soon. Thanks for watching this week on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.